Gamercast Network.
Hey. All right. It's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the Gamercast Network Video Game Show, episode number 66 for Sunday, December 2nd, 2007. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call, when I say your name, tell me your favorite expansion to a game. And joining us this evening is Bob.
How about, I don't even remember what it's called. Hold on a second.
What game was it for?
Hold on.
Dang.
I'm sorry.
Grouchy.
How about Hordes of the Underdark for Neverwinter Nights?
And what did that grant you?
Level 40. More monsters, more stuff, magics, and let you edit the weapons and...
And what magical weapon did you create?
That's all you're going to get out of me. So enough with the, 20 questions there. Go on. Next person. Next guy. Next.
Okay. Next on the list, well, actually the last one on the list for tonight is Ivan.
Athena Sword, which is the Rainbow Six Raven Shield expansion.
Those expansions just gave you extra weapons, didn't they, and new maps? Was there any kind of new modes?
I had to look it up just to figure out everything it added.
So you liked this expansion so much that you forgot everything it had in it.
The thing with Raven Shield is towards the end of the life of us playing it, we had downloaded so many user-generated maps, and
They all kind of blend together.
they blended together, and I don't think any one of us...
which maps were on that expansion or not.
I don't think any single one of us actually played through the single-player mission from beginning to end.
I think I played like one mission, and it was like, move your team around. And so as soon as I started, I shot my team and then completed the mission myself. And I was just like, I can just play online and do the same thing.
Well, I was going to say one of the old school Wing Commander expansions, but I always say Wing Commander crap, so that's boring. I would say of recent times, Titan Quest Immortal Throne, because it did add a lot to the game.
It did.
It really did.
More so than the extra act. It added a bunch of cool features.
And I like the Dream Killer class. It was fun to be a dreamy guy.
Chad's dreamy.
I get to be Morpheus.
Hey, Morpheus is a badass.
He's really not. He's kind of effeminate.
But at least Morpheus has his brother Destruction.
Yeah, well, he's also got, delirium.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This week on the Gamercast Network, Sarcastic Gamer analyzes the Gamespot debacle, plus the epic showdown. It's Lano versus Alex in a battle to the pain. This week, Hudson Entertainment joins Gamertag Radio to speak about their new Xbox Live arcade game, Omega 5. The bomb has exploded, and it's time to rush to Void. Podtacular gives you a bunch of helpful tips this week on conquering the Savo Highway in campaign. Achievement Junkie is back in the house, discussing all of the new features on the Xbox Marketplace. Uncle Gamer has an in-depth discussion about a GameSpot reviewer being fired for giving one of their Advertisers games a low score. Are there still ethics in gaming journalism? Visit any Gamercast Network site to find out how you can win Rock Band. Absolutely free. Brought to you by Kuzex.com. Discover all of these great headlines and more by logging on to GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
Ivan here has played much Call of Duty 4 for the Xbox 360. And have you done a lot of both multiplayer and single player, or?
I finished the campaign on normal mode and played, a few hours of multiplayer. I'm up to about level 7 or so.
7? Okay.
Yeah.
What about the novel you're writing? Is it going pretty good?
Yeah,
You're gonna add
got a
another couple pages
protagonist?
to that?
Okay, so the single-player campaign
is actually incredible. It's a lot of fun. More so than the campaign in Rainbow Six Vegas. Rainbow Six Vegas was a lot of the same stuff. Like, go to this hotel and defeat all the terrorists, and then move over to this hotel and defeat all the terrorists, and then go to Mexico and defeat all the terrorists.
I failed to see the problem.
And then there was that one annoying mission where you had to sit up on a stage of a theater.
Oh, God.
Gun down terrorists as they came from the ceiling. And by the way, they're not really caring about killing you. They want to kill the guy trying to hack the computer who's standing out in the open. So make sure he doesn't die.
Ah, it's one of those escort defense missions.
Oh, it was
Exactly.
it was miserable.
Yeah, it was not fun. Call of Duty had a lot of really cool missions. They even had sniper missions where you suited up in a ghillie suit and had to crawl through weeds and stuff and snipe people. One of the few escort missions was you're sniping with a comrade and he gets shot and you have to carry him on your shoulders. But the cool thing is anytime lots of guys come by, you set him down on the ground and he snipes
And
people
use them for
you.
cover. Even in death, you're a service to your country.
Even the escort mission wasn't all that bad because he was actually still shooting for you.
Are there like boss battles in the single player?
No. There's missions where you do things other than in a room and you have to defeat terrorists. Like I said, there's the sniper mission where, if you get caught, the mission's over.
I was just wondering, because one of my pet peeves is guys who can't die when getting shot.
Yeah.
Oh, the shot in the head. We've got to think of a name for that. Like something or other syndrome. It has to end with the word syndrome. Like, what game pissed you off the most about that?
Crisis recently.
We'll call it crisis syndrome from now on, where people avoid to die when being shot point blank in the head. Yeah, there you go. Crisis syndrome. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
But
let's get back to something important.
obviously the meat of Call of Duty 4 isn't the single player experience, it's the multiplayer experience.
Hang on. It is for the Timmies of the world who are in the forests who have no broadband.
In all seriousness, this probably isn't really the game for you, because this is one of those 70-30 games where, 70% of the game is actually multiplayer, and I'll probably get flamed for that, but, it's short, and there's not a whole lot of extra stuff that you can do.
Back to the multiplayer stuff. Do you like the overall aspect of the leveling system? Because this game does have a leveling system where you kill somebody, you get experience points.
It does, but it's better than Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six, you got, like, an insulting amount of experience points. If you lost the match, you'd get like 4. But, if you won the match, you got several hundred. This one is much better. Every time you kill somebody, you get like 10 experience points. You even get points for assists. So if there's a guy running at you and you shoot him a couple times, but he doesn't die, but your friend up on the third floor of a building is the one who kills him, you both get experience points. So you really get experience points for everything. And what you can do with those experience points is, so you can pick any class you want, assault rifles, sniper rifles, and as you level up, it unlocks different guns, and also you get to pick different perks, and there's a ton of different perks, like Last Shot, which got me a couple times. It's actually really annoying, is you kill a guy and he gets a couple seconds left where he can pull out his sidearm and shoot whoever, which is kind of freaky because you run up to a guy, you shoot him in the face, he drops down to the ground and dead, and then you kind of turn and hide around a corner making sure no one else is going to shoot you, and all of a sudden you die.
Is that only if you shoot him once? I mean, if you turn around the corner and rather than just capping him once, put 3 rounds in his face, does he still get to do that?
Yeah, he does.
That's weak. Anytime I'd shoot someone, I wouldn't just shoot them once. I'd make sure they were down because I hated when that happened.
2 in the head, 1 in the chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Each class you pick, you get 3 perks, and each perk, is different. You start off with a couple pretty decent ones, but nothing fancy, like extra bullet penetration, double tap, or something like that, which is essentially double bullet speed.
Yeah, so basically you're not getting anything that would weigh everything heavily in your favor.
Absolutely. The perks help, definitely, but they don't unbalance the game.
So overall, what would you say? What would you rate this game if you had to rate it? Or who would like this game?
Definitely first-person shooter, guys. If you like Halo, Rainbow Six, those kinds of things, it's any of the other Call of Duties, it's just as good. People that I've talked to, Doc and Lano, those guys from Sarcastic Gamer, very big Rainbow Six Vegas fans before this, and they've said that Call of Duty 4 is better than Rainbow Six, hands down. I don't know that Vegas was, the single best tactical shooter. It was at least my favorite for the 360, and I think Call of Duty 4 is kind of overtaken that spot.
Next topic.
I can talk about the game I played over the last week or so, which is Assassin's Creed. The game itself is kind of set during the Middle Ages, during the Crusades, and you play an assassin. I say kind of set because there's a whole other story, which you actually find out in the first 30 seconds of the game. You have to commit 9 assassinations.
That's it?
That may sound like not a lot, but let's explain here. Now, first off, this game is a stealth game, but not stealth like Splinter Cell where you're hiding in the shadows. This is more of the stealth where you're hiding in plain sight. You're kind of like walking through crowds, blending in. There's a button to blend.
There's a puree. I keep pressing puree. It doesn't seem to be working.
No, when you push the blend button, he bows his head and goes into a scholarly stance. and that's supposed to blend in with the crowd.
So a scholarly stance to blend in with the common poor folk of Jerusalem.
Yeah. Okay, so what the assassinations are is when you get to a town, you have to go kill somebody. Now, you don't know where the guy is. You have to go get information on how to kill him. So how do you get the information? Well, you have to go hunt down your informants and do some pickpocketing and eavesdrop in on conversations. So how do you get those things? Well, if you've ever seen the trailers for this game, you see the guy crawling up on top of a tower. What those are the viewpoints. You climb up, you push the synchronize button, and then it opens the area up beneath you. It's what it's called. It's called synchronize. I'm not making this crap up.
You sure? Because it sounds like you're making this crap up. I totally didn't even play this game. I'm just pulling your leg. I got no idea what's going on.
No,
I watched a couple of the trailers, and I just assumed that, he crawled up on the buildings to eavesdrop on people.
No. You climb up there, you push this button to synchronize, and then the map opens up, and you see where things are, where the informers are. So once you get your pickpocketing, you do your eavesdropping, all that kind of stuff, you have the evidence. And you go talk to your bureau chief. I guess apparently in this day and age, Assassination Guild had bureau chiefs throughout all the cities.
I'm getting sick and tired of your rogue tactics. The pissed off lieutenant with high blood pressure. Can't get the cap off his medication while he's screaming at you. I'm not feeling too impressed by this game.
Well, hang on. Once you unlock the ability to kill the bad guy, you get a big X on your map saying this is where the bad guy is. Go kill him.
And are they like battle type things, or is it literally just sneak up behind him, stab him in the neck, and run away?
You can do a full-out battle, or you can be sneaky. That's an assassination. You have to do 9 of those. So that's the whole game, practically.
That's it?
Should I get my complaints about the game? Let's get my complaints about the game.
Kind of already sounds like you did, but continue if there's more. I don't want to be the one to stop the hate.
Obviously, if this whole assassination thing sounds kind of boring, it does get kind of boring. There really is no variation between each assassination. The only variation comes in one part where when you go to do the final assassination, so you could be at 5 different places, and you have to go to each one, killing the main guy there, and seeing if he was the right guy.
Whoops! This was Ted the Butcher. Wow.
Oh, sorry about that. How ironic that I killed the butcher with his own cleaver.
Now, my other complaint is you guys have played games like, when you first start playing the game, you have all the abilities in the game, and then they take them away from you. Like, if you've ever played Metroid Prime, when the game starts, you have everything. You have your wave blaster, you have all your scanners, all your grappling stuff. But then something bad happens and you lose all your gear, and you have to slowly get all that stuff back over time. This game has the same thing. At first you lose your blade, your sword, your throwing knife, but they also kind of like make you lose abilities that are like innate abilities, like grabbing on ledges as you're falling. That goes away.
That makes sense.
So you had massive head trauma, not just like,
Yeah, it's like they whack you in the head and say, can you still remember how to fight? Yes? Okay, whack him again. So this game's kind of like Grand Theft Auto. When you do an assassination or if you raise the attention level, everyone's kind of suspicious of you and you have to go run away. In Grand Theft Auto, when you run away and if someone isn't directly following you, usually the alerts cool down. In this game, not only do you have to run away and break eye contact, but you have to hop in like, hey.
Hey?
Yeah. You can't just escape the guards and hide in a little, like, passageway. You have to actually jump into, like, a little hut or jump into a haystack and then hide.
I needed to smear the manure on myself to break the scent trail. It was the only way to get the dogs off me.
Well,
and now
he
I'm
can't be
walking
an assassin. Why not? This stinks like crap.
So that's the bad parts of the game. What's the good parts of the game?
There are good parts.
Oh, there are some good parts. I mean, actually, when you're walking through a crowd of people and you gotta go gut somebody or assassinate somebody, it's actually pretty cool. You can walk right up to them, push the assassinate key, and like ram the knife in the guy's stomach, pull it out, and just keep walking on.
Oh, yeah. Because I pressed the assassinate button. Sounds like it takes a lot of skill.
The big part of this game is the whole free running system. And free running, for those that don't know what it is, it's kind of like the beginning of Casino Royale, where they're kind of like going all over buildings, and not acrobatics, but kind of like building, jumping.
Like how Batman gets from place to place.
Yeah, running over rooftops, those kind of things. And that's the big part of Assassin's Creed, this whole free running system. There is no jump key. You don't jump. You kind of like hold down the right trigger and then push the X button to instigate this free run mode. And then you just push in the direction you want to go and he'll automatically do the right thing. Doesn't take a lot of skill.
I was going to say, it doesn't sound like very much fun.
It actually is pretty cool to see the free running happening. Has a very cinematic quality to it. For all the issues I harped on over the past couple minutes here, it actually is a pretty decent game. Just a tad on the long side. If you like the 3D Prince of Persia games and a kind of linear version of Crackdown, you probably will like this game. That being said, though, I do suggest renting it
Is
first.
there any replay value at all? I mean, how long does it take you to finish the game, first of all?
It took me about 12 hours, I think, to beat the game. And the replay in the game is the fact that you can go look for flags. I did the free running to hunt these little flags down. You're getting these little flags just to get achievement points. But I think that they're setting themselves up for at least a sequel to this game, because the game kind of ends and there's more to the story.
They'll get it right next time then.
Next topic.
Okay, speaking of expansions here, Ivan, we never included this in the show last week, but last week or a couple weeks ago, you talked about Two Worlds, role-playing game for the Xbox 360 and PC, which I really hated and Ivan did not find much love in either.
I do remember that because pretty much my impression was I played it for 10 minutes, thought it was utter and turned it off. Seriously, I played it for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, could not figure out for the life of me how the leveling up kind of system worked. I think, Chad, you were the one who said talking to people was just hilarious because they kind of forced this old English kind of accent and verilies and forsooths just to do it.
The story here is that I guess the company that made this game sold enough to warrant an expansion for it.
Oh, God. Verily, expansionified we have been.
And this is going to be called Two Worlds: The Temptation.
Temptation being, should you buy an expansion for a really game or not? On a side note, I read an article somewhere, I think it was on Penny Arcade, and they had mentioned GameSpot's 7 to 9 scale, kind of implying that, they really don't give anything below a 7, and they really don't give much above a 9. And I didn't really think anything of it other than it was kind of humorous until I see the scores for Two Worlds, and literally we've got 1, 4, 6, 5, except GameSpot, who gave it a 7.
Oh crap, they gave Two Worlds a 7?
Yeah. Really takes away from the integrity of
That brings up a good point, because I saw a PC Gamer almost did the same thing.
the PC version. Is actually higher average. It's 65. Wow, GameSpot gave it a 7.5 for the PC version. Yeah, PC Gamer gave it an 81%.
Yeah, they gave it a stupid high score.
Wow.
When PC Gamer had one of the first reviews of Hellgate London. This is before it went for release. This was still during the beta times. And they rated it 89%. Which I thought was pretty high.
Yeah, that's a little, considering the shape it was in, considering the shape it's still in.
Reviews nowadays seem to be skewed. Like, as Ivan said, GameSpot has this whole 7 to 9 scale. They don't rate anything below 7s.
Apparently except Hellgate London, which they gave a 60%. Oh, I'm sorry, no, that's GameSpy. Nope, look at that, GameSpot, 70%.
Next topic.
Did we have any thoughts on what GameSpot did to Jeff Gertzman? For those who haven't heard, Jeff Gertzman, who is one of the editorial chiefs over at GameSpot, he gave Kane & Lynch a 6 out of 10. And I guess at the time, GameSpot had a big ad campaign with IDOS for Kane & Lynch.
I could just see the management going, excuse me, Jeff, that's a funny-looking 7 there. That you're 6 out of 10? Maybe you didn't get the memo. Nothing lower than a 7.
Yeah, so the rumor on the street is that he was let go, or, well, fired from GameSpot over this review he gave of Kane & Lynch. And the claim is that Eidos kind of forced CNET, who is the owner of GameSpot, to get Jeff out of there. So what do you think about that?
So the rumors kind of seem to make sense. Not make sense, but there's a lot of evidence because Eidos clearly spent a fortune on advertising because apparently that week or that whole month, if you went to GameSpot.com, or at least if you went to the 360 section, the entire background of the web page was Kane & Lynch, and there's flash ads for Kane & Lynch everywhere. So it was abundantly clear that Eidos spent a fortune. So there was at least some evidence there that, they were clearly upset with the below average review of the game. You know how the women talk when they're around the sewing circle, you get some evidence and, well, did you hear they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars? They couldn't have possibly just, let that go.
For all we know, this could have been the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, he just might have been a jackass to begin with.
That is the other one of the official claims maybe coming down, or rumored is that CNET's saying they weren't happy with his reviews as of late.
Yeah, something about the tone of his reviews. You've got to be naive if there's not a whole game being played between publishers and professional paid reviewers. Video game industry is one of the few where, so you're a reviewing source and you're main, if not your only source of income is from the very people whose product you're reviewing. So there's going to be that uneasy awkwardness when, you get something that is just kind of what you feel is crap, but, you're essentially telling the people who are giving you money that, their product is crap.
Next topic.
Let's move to one more game I did play some this week. I got Rock Band. I've drummed, I've guitared, and I have sang a bit. God, you don't want to hear me sing. I don't think the computer wanted to hear me sing either, because it kept saying you fail.
Fail!
Well, first off, let me touch on the guitar stuff of it, because there have been issues with the guitar. My guitar has no issues yet.
Hasn't broken yet from strumming?
But the thing is, I'm not one of those guys in Guitar Hero. I don't do the shredding. I might not be pushing my guitar to its maximum capabilities to break it. That being said, I do like the guitar parts of this game, because it is not as hard as Guitar Hero 2's difficulty was.
How are the songs? Good song selection?
The song selection is pretty good. It goes from like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Not to knock Guitar Hero songs, but I like the songs in Rock Band better. It's like Garbage, Stone Temple Pilots, REM, Police. I actually bought the Police downloadable content pack.
Now, when you're playing single player, though, do you just pick what you want to play? Like, I'm going to play guitar now, or does it make you do something?
When you start the game, you make your band. So when I started the guitar, I made my guitarist, and I could do a solo tour of just being the guitar player. And then if I want to do drums, I can make a drummer and then just go through the drummer solo tour.
The drummer solo tour?
Well, in the game, you're actually playing with the rest of the band, but the tour itself is more geared for the easier drum songs first. And then they progressively get harder. And the song selection is different for the guitarist tour because those start off with the easier guitar songs. The drum stuff is very cool. I have no rhythm. I ain't got rhythm.
Well, you are a scrawny white boy.
Pretty much, yeah.
There's 5 drums.
There are 4 pads, and then there's the kick pedal. I can't really comment on it because I really do suck at drums. I really suck at drums.
Drums aren't easy if it's not something you've practiced.
Yet, for some strange reason, I keep going back to it. I keep liking them yelling at me and having me fail. Honestly, I think if you kept playing this over and over in expert mode, you probably could get really good at drums. Whereas when you play guitar in Guitar Hero, I don't think you're going to get better at guitar at all. The singing stuff is
Now, is it hard? Because I've heard some people say it's really just kind of attaching to your pitch.
What's streaming across the screen is you're seeing the pitch level, and then you're getting this arrow indicating what pitch you're at. And then under the different pitches coming up are the words. So you start singing the words, the arrow indicates what pitch you're at and if you should go higher or lower.
So it's kind of a really dumb way to get you to the right note. Where it's like, you're too low, higher, you're too low, higher, now lower, now higher.
So the other thing I heard is that the drums are really, really loud.
The plastic it's made out of resonates pretty loud when you hit it with the stick. If you whack really hard and your TV volume's turned really low, you're not going to be hearing the hi-hats or the...
All you're going to be hearing is tap, 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 tap.
Yep, that's pretty much how it sounds. Personally, I like Rock Band. I like the guitar parts of it. I'm going to like doing the drums when I can sit down and actually play through it. Well, actually, we're going to be playing it, I think, if you guys go to Phil's place.
I'm planning on it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be here.
We'll get pictures of everyone. I might even bring a PC to record. Oh, God.
Let's not do that.
Next topic.
Let's move on to the fall update for Xbox 360. There's a whole new feature you're getting in this one that just came out last week. Beyond just being able to play old Xbox games like we talked about a couple weeks ago, the big one coming up is the new social networking in Xbox Live.
Oh, yay.
They're taking a page out of MySpace and the whole little Facebook thing, because now what you're going to be able to do is see the friends of your friends. I can go view Bob's empty friends list.
That's right.
Or Ivan's probably relatively full friends list, I would imagine.
I'm up to about 80-something.
Now, do we see this as a bad thing or a good thing for Xbox Live?
The only time I could see it being beneficial is, say, I don't know Bob, but I know Chad, and Chad and I play Call of Duty 4 all the time. And so we're playing one night, and Chad says, oh, hey, my friend Bob's on. I'm going to send him an invite to join the game. And he does. And we're playing, and then at the end of the night, we quit. And I thought Bob was kind of fun and cool to play with, and I would like to play with him, even if Chad's not on. Now I can at least go into Chad's friends list and see what Bob's gamer tag was. I can guarantee you I'm not going to sit there one night when I'm bored and go through everyone in my friends list and see who's on their friends list just to see who's Chad's friends.
Why are they turning Live into a MySpace?
That's why. because MySpace and Facebook and Twitter and all those annoying social networking things are hugely, insanely popular.
Why? They look like crap web pages. I mean,
Because you're not a 13-year-old girl, Chad. That's why you don't. And that's not an insult to you. I mean, literally, that's why. Because you're a 30-something grown man and you don't care about that kind of crap. But we've proven time and again when you play Halo or Call of Duty or Rainbow Six, there's 14-year-old boys out there excited as hell that they can play games where they're shooting their friends in the face and cursing the entire time, and they enjoy that. It's like being on the playground and unsupervised. It's awesome, and now they can sit there and do my face stuff without ever having to get off the couch. This is one of those features where I don't think it's targeted towards people like you and I.
I guess this is more of Microsoft trying to go after the casual people.
Well, yeah, I mean, just based on the games and everything they've been releasing, it's been clear that they're trying to compete with the Wii and their family stuff. Now they have parental controls, they have more kid-friendly games, they're trying to target old people and young people alike.
Next topic.
This story is kind of pissing me off a little, because I was kind of looking forward to this. I know there's not a lot of Star Trek love here among the crew, but I kind of like Star Trek. And there was a company making a Star Trek MMO. This was Perpetual Entertainment. And they recently were acquired by a new company. This new company has said that they want the Star Trek MMO to be more casual play style. They're even thinking about taking away subscription fees and doing the whole Chinese kind of MMO where you free to play and you pay for items and that kind of gear. I like Star Trek. I was looking forward to the Star Trek MMO. It'd be fun. No one here cares about Star Trek, do they?
No, not at all.
Not so much.
Okay, fine. You guys don't like
Fine,
Star Trek.
fine.
We'll move on. I'm just putting it out there that I don't want my Star Trek MMO to be filled with casual players. I want hardcore Star Trek fans. I want the guys who are in their basements wearing their little uniforms.
You think there'd be enough of them to warrant a really hardcore game, you know?
You know, hey, I wouldn't sit in my uniform, even though I have one.
Oh, Chad.
Do you
God.
really?
I didn't need to know that.
Well, okay,
Wow.
that was, hang on. Let me qualify that. That was like 15 years ago when I was in high school.
You know, it really doesn't matter. Oh, I really did just throw
You know,
up.
now I was just going to say, now I have thrown up. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, there's some things I just don't need to know about people. And yeah, that I could have lived my life not knowing that.
Let's put it this way. That was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And then I hit my head, lost all my abilities to counter attacks and all that kind of stuff. I changed. I changed for the better. I became a better person when I stopped wearing my Star Trek uniform.
Well, I'm glad you came to your senses at the very least.
Next topic.
Mailbag.
Mailbag.
Luke from England. Hey guys, how many games have to be out or announced for a console before you buy it? I ask because I had a Wii last year but got rid of it about 20 days later, as I realized there was only about 2 games that I wanted to play. This year there seems to be a few titles that are really sucking me in, especially Super Paper Mario and Mario Galaxy. So basically, how long do you guys wait for a console in general? And also, would you say that now is the time to buy a Wii, or are there still too few games to make the purchase? So when do you guys buy consoles?
A year after it comes out. I didn't realize that till just now. That's pretty much been true for every single console. I don't think I've ever bought one right away.
I really have no system either. I mean, PlayStation 1 was a good 2 or 3 years afterwards. PlayStation 2 I pre-ordered and got on the day it was released. I never owned an Xbox, and the 360 was at least 6 months after it came out. The games honestly have nothing to do with it. They help. I won't buy a system if there's just no good games for it. The Wii is a different story. Everyone's heard this story. I wanted the Wii mainly because I thought it would be a good social gaming console that I could take on trips and whatnot, and I wanted it for my yearly New York trip, and unfortunately I didn't make that. Ironically, now that my New York trip is coming up in the next month and a half or so, I'm actually debating whether I should even bother bringing it.
Well, okay, so with the Wii, have you bought any more games for it recently? Have you bought anything for it? No?
I bought the Wii, and about a month or two later, I bought the Raving Rabbits and WarioWare. I hear Mario Galaxy is really good. I have some interest, but not enough to go buy the games. And the biggest reason is because between the PC stuff I'm doing with Hellgate and just the vast number of 360 titles, is now a good time to buy a Wii. Now's a bad time because of the holiday, but as far as the library goes, I don't know. There's a decent number of games out there.
I was going to say, a couple weeks ago, I played the Wii over a friend's house. I tried out the Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles, which is the light gun game, which I found very annoying. The light gun games for the Wii aren't the same as a real light gun game. You know, a real light gun game that has a whole, like, photo sensor system, that kind of stuff? Well, with the Wii, it's using the motion controls, and I got a bad sense of lag. You know how mouse lag is, kind of swimming a bit?
I have not been impressed so far with the several times I've played the Wii with its control response. It's very swimmy in general, and I don't feel very attached to any of the games, which is probably one of my biggest complaints with it and why I didn't like it.
A friend's house I was over was asking me why I don't have a Wii yet. And I said I don't have leprechauns around, so I can't. There's only like 4 or 5 games I would buy for it. And I just couldn't justify it right now.
I'm still debating whether to sell mine.
If you're going to sell yours, you can make a ton of money right now, Ivan. This is the market right now, eBay.
I know. I'm seriously debating. Part of me wants to because I haven't used it in a good year. And then there's the other part of me that doesn't want to sell it because I have all those cool GameCube games that we love to play. But then I'm thinking, am I ever really going to play those again?
Did you sell your GameCube?
Well, that's the thing is I still have the GameCube.
Oh, then what's the question here, boy? You're just get rid of the Wii. Make yourself a couple $100. Come on.
I guess. You know, the other thing which you're going to yell at me for, well, then why the hell don't you, is Mary's got a Wii. So
then why the hell don't you?
If I ever get the itch, to play something.
That was Video Game Show episode number 66 for Sunday, December 2nd, 2007. Any ham sandwiches or shared dream pies?
Cheddar Dream Pie to Jogger Lake.
Yeah. Into the Browns because they lost again today.
Big
Ham
fail
sandwich
for
to me.
Cleveland. Ham sandwich to... Wait, you don't get one, though.
I know, but I broke 10,000 on my gamer score.
Really? Wow.
Did you rent Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No, actually, I'm very pleased to say that I've never rented, purchased, or played any gamer score padding games. So I've never played the King Kongs or the Open Seasons or...
Yay for you, Ivan. You get a cookie.
Yeah. I'll give you an ethereal ham sandwich because you can't have one.
And this week we're starting a couple new contests on the Video Game Show website. Be sure to check out videogameshow.org for all the details. And as usual, send your comments, queries, questions, or concerns to the mailbag at mailbag@videogameshow.org, Skype us at videogameshow, or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call, and all normal fees apply. And I guess it's a wrap. Good night.
Oh, I might barf on myself.
I want to ask, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I think I ate a bad Hot Pocket.
Oh, well, that's coming back. I'm getting to taste that again.